Good to have you with us. Anti-government protesters in Turkey have been met with tear gas and force from the police for a third day. Protesters are angry at what they see as the government's attempts to undermine the secular values of the country. Protests continued late into the night in Istanbul. Police fired tear gas at crowds who were throwing rocks at the office of Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Anita McNaught was near the Prime Minister's office in the suburb of Beşiktaş.
Demonstrators have commandeered a digger, a roadworks digger, and they used it to break through the police lines. They took right through the police lines, right up to Dolmabahce Palace, the building used by the government here as its main place to entertain and do official business. And they took up behind it a couple of large trucks as well, one of which was loaded with paving stones. And it looked like they'd routed the riot police. The police have come back, redoubled their effort, and the demonstrators have run, I think we've galloped about 200, between 200 and 500 metres back down the main road. The police have driven the demonstrators all the way back down the side of the Bosphorus.
Well, the Interior Minister says there were more than 200 demonstrations in 67 cities across the country on Sunday. Andrew Simmons now with a look at the day's events.
Violence again. In the Turkish capital, new flashpoints. The Interior Ministry now has a policy of non-interference with demonstrators. Not here in Ankara, though. But there's debate about who provoked this violence, and it's thought the police were intent on stopping anybody from approaching public buildings. Protesters are seen throwing rocks with a predictable response. There were a large number of arrests and an unknown number of casualties. Some protesters suffered serious injuries. These demonstrators are seen calling on their fellow protesters to stop attacking the police. Apart from some scuffles between groups with opposing political views, it was a day of contrast in Istanbul. There's a kaleidoscope of opinion and ideologies here, from Marxists to the far right, from human rights activists to environmentalists. The original core of protest behind the trees goes on. Demands for the government to abandon its plans for a major shopping mall persist, and so too the broader chorus of protest calling for Prime Minister Erdogan to stand down. But he's not a man for turning on any of the demands.
Those who could not succeed in elections and those who know they will never do, I'm referring to the main opposition party and its allies, they have been provoking these demonstrations in a hopeless way.
His words had no effect on these protesters.
We're continuing our resistance. It started 3 to 4 days ago. People don't see what's happening. If they were here, maybe they'd understand. People don't see the excessive use of force that was used yesterday on the people.
We have been here since the first day of the demonstration. This is not Taksim Ghazi Park Square anymore. This is Tahrir Square. This is Red Square. This is the Square of Revolution.
Every human being has human rights. The Prime Minister should defend those rights. We the people gave him the mandate to protect us, but he's calling us names. We're not what he says we are.
Water cannon and tear gas wasn't stopping thousands turning out on the streets again. Andrew Simmons, Al Jazeera, Istanbul.